Hello, I am Matteo Macchini and I will present the paper The Impact of Virtual Reality and Viewpoint in Body Motion-Based Drone Teleoperation. The work has been carried out in EPFL with the collaboration of the master student Manana Lorchipanidze and the postdoc Fabrizio Schiano, and supervised by Professor Dario Floreano. Virtual reality and viewpoint can strongly affect a user's sense of presence and embodiment in virtual avatar and robots, if they are humanoid or show human-like motion. However, research in the field of non-anthropomorphic robots with non-human-like motion is not as developed. Results in this field can unveil new interesting insights on the human factor possibly affecting the quality of motion-based robot teleoperation. In this paper, we investigate different aspects of immersive robot teleoperation. First, we assess the effect of using VR on the user's sense of presence and spontaneous motion. Also, we evaluate the effects of different viewpoints on the user's sense of presence and spontaneous motion. The scenario consists of an imitation task for a fixed-wing drone. We asked a set of 30 subjects to imitate the flight of a simulated fixed-wing drone using their own body motion. The simulation was shown to them through a head-mounted display for the VR condition or on a computer screen. We considered three viewpoint conditions: a first-person view from the drone's front camera, a third-person view from behind the drone, or a ground view, where the participant is observing the drone from a fixed position. We ran the experiment to first evaluate the participant's sense of presence and to study their spontaneous body motion during the imitation task. Here, you can see the experimental scenario for the first-person view no-VR condition. We acquired the participant's body motion using a motion capture system and modeled their upper body as a concatenation of 13 rigid bodies. Here you can see the different viewpoint conditions: first-person view, third-person view, and ground view. The participants had to fill a questionnaire consisting of 7 questions. 3 questions were related to their sense of embodiment during the experiment, while the remaining 4 were related to their sense of spatial presence, to separate these 2 dimensions. The questions were adapted from previous literature. Our questionnaire results show that the sense of spatial presence is improved by the use of virtual reality, but only in first-person view and third-person view. We did not observe significant effects for the ground view conditions. Also, we observed that the sense of embodiment is improved in first-person view and third-person view, but only in VR-enabled experiments. This effect was not observed when the participants were looking at a simulation on a computer screen. Here, you can see the motion pattern exhibited by 3 sample subjects during the imitation task. By comparing the motion of each participant to the median motion of the corresponding group, we found that spontaneous motion displays higher variability in ground view, meaning that subjects from the ground view group moved more differently from each other than subjects from the other groups. Motion agreement is a determining factor in the design of human-robot interfaces, as a high agreement can allow for the design of general interfaces, whereas a low agreement requires for personalized interfaces. Further, we found that human-robot motion correlation is higher in first-person view and third-person view. This means that subjects within these groups were able to understand and imitate the robot's flight better than the others. Human-robot correlation is an important factor for the implementation of data-driven human-robot interfaces. Finally, we observed that the total motion of the participants varied by changing the VR and viewpoint conditions. In particular, subjects looking at the simulation in first-person view moved less when using VR than looking into a screen. Also, they moved less than subjects presented with third-person view and ground view, always when using VR. Our research produced 2 main sets of results. Regarding the sense of presence, we found that the sense of presence in virtual environment can be elicited during the operation of non-anthropomorphic robots with non-human-like motion. Also, we found that the viewpoint affects mostly the sense of embodiment, and the camera motion coherent with the body motion is more important than using an immersive viewpoint. Finally, we found that the VR affects mostly the sense of spatial presence. Regarding the human body motion, we found that the subject's spontaneous body motion displays higher variability in ground view than in first-person view and third-person view. We also found that the human-robot motion correlation is higher in first-person view and third-person view than using a ground view perspective. These results hold both in VR and non-VR conditions. Also, we found that virtual reality and viewpoint affect motion amplitude in different ways, and the amount of motion of our subjects was reduced in a condition specifically, which was the first-person view using the VR. In this work, we describe new results explaining the effects of virtual reality and viewpoint on the user's sense of presence and their spontaneous motion in teleoperation tasks. Our findings provide new insights on presence for teleoperation in the case of a non-anthropomorphic robot with non-human motion, such as a fixed-wing drone. Additionally, we show that the user's motion patterns when mimicking the robot's motion are affected by VR and viewpoint conditions. Since personalized interfaces have been demonstrated to be more effective than generic ones for the control of fixed-wing drones, the application of these results could facilitate the design and implementation of new motion-based telerobotic systems. Thank you for your attention.